Good morning, welcome to the Perfume Experience. So we begin testing for Bulgari Tiger today, and we will do 2 sprays each on skin and on the strip. So we have the original decant here. We have Dopamine from the house of Centedelic. I have Tygar X, the premium version from Mehdi Hassan. And I have Tiger from the house of Muzna Fragrances. So quickly, let's do 2 sprays each. First of the OG. So I'm going on my arm there. Dopamine from Centedelic. Better sprayer. Tygar X on my wrist and Muzna Buys on my palm. Okay, so 2 sprays each, and almost alike openings, slightly variant here with Mehdi Hassan's buy. We'll also do quickly on the strip as well. So Tiger OG on the blue strip. Muzna on the pink. Mehdi Hassan on the yellow strip. Dopamine on the grey strip. So let's give it some time. It's 12 o'clock now, and I'll come back to you with my notes and my results. So see you later. Bye now. Hi there, welcome back. My name is Rodney and welcome to the Perfume Experience. So we've completed the testing for Bulgari Tiger, and we've had a couple of oils in the first round. So we've had Dopamine from the house of Centedelic. Okay, let's do 1 spray of this. Wow, nice fragrance in fact, and opens very well. We've also had Indian Perfumery. This is Mehdi Hassan's version of Tygar X. This is the premium one, so we'll do 1 spray of this as well. The spray needs to get better on this. And then we also have Tiger from the house of Muzna. So I'll also do 1 spray of this. And let's also do one of the OG. The OG decant was can be got from Fragzone. You can check Fragzone for that. Right. So initially, the OG is like really smooth and very nice. You get a very fresh minty vibe. Now I have done 2 sprays on my skin already in the testing, and also have done 2 sprays on the test strips as well. Now my initial thoughts about this is that there is this fresh minty vibe that you get along with the grapefruit and ginger on the OG. Okay, now that essence is captured pretty much by all 4 of them at the opening note. It's very smooth and refined, and the opening is almost similar by all of them. This is Dopamine by Centedelic. This is Mehdi Hassan's Premium X and Muzna. All of them have got that same profile of the opening, and it's very good. We'll see what happens after about 5-10 minutes time. Now after about 15-20 minutes time, when the fragrance is settled down, one of the things that you kind of realize is that minty vibe is very well captured by Dopamine and Mehdi Hassan's Indian Perfumery. This captures that very well. Now with the Muzna Buys Dopamine version, that minty essence is a little low, but the grapefruit vibe is captured well. And by this time, by 15-20 minutes time, you're easily getting that grapefruit and ginger and that ambroxan blend together. But the dominance of that grapefruit starts to open up after the first 15-20 minutes, and Dopamine is quite smooth in that element. It's very rounded, very smooth, and it's got a little more depth, you can say, compared to Muzna Buy and Indian Perfumery. After about an hour's time, what you realize is that the grapefruit vibe starts to be more prominent across all of them. Now what really matters in all of them is the beauty of this particular test is the scent profile is so similar to all of them. All of them have got very good opening, and like I said, the note profile is captured very well. What really is changing in this test is the performance and the loudness in which they start to behave, right? Now, so Dopamine starts to become like a really projection beast at this point of time. In fact, it is one of those beast mode fragrances at this point of time. So it's got a loud projection, and you can kind of smell it very nice, and that grapefruit thing note with the ginger blend is like right at the top. And then the second in line is Mehdi Hasan's blend as well. That's also pretty good, pretty loud at this point of time. Muzna Vice is also good, but when you compare the three of them, I would say Dopamine stands here, Mehdi stands here, and Muzna Vice is a little lower than that. So that's how it is. But the scent profile is just brilliant. Now, another element is what I've started doing in this particular test is I'm going to do ratings for this. So all of these oils are going to be based or rated on 4 parameters. Let's say one would be the scent profile. The second would be performance, third would be value for money, and fourth would be basically to see the kind of presentation, because I think that also is a crucial element when you consider an alt or a clone or the price that you're paying for it. And then we'll total up the scores and figure out which is the best, and this way it also helps me keep a track of how close each one of them are in each of these categories, right? So stay tuned till the end to know what are the ratings and who's the actual winner for this particular test. Now, Bulgari is an Italian luxury house which was launched in the year 1884, and they're popularly known for their watches, jewelry, leather items, and fragrances. Now, this particular fragrance, the La Gem Tiger, was launched in the year 2016. This is part of their lineup of other fragrances which are based on gemstones. Now, when you look at the website of Bulgari for La Gem Tiger, it says that the destination is the forests of Kerala, and in the forests of Kerala there are tigers, and the eye of the tiger is what this particular fragrance is going for, and that's what is the essence of the fragrance, the eye of the tiger. And tiger's eye is a very popular gemstone, right? I think you can see an image of it here, and that's what you can see on the bottle as well. So if you look at the cap, there is a kind of a engraving of this particular stone, kind of a design element on that, and that is what the bottle is going for, to tell you that it's looking at the essence of tiger's eye. Now, this, in terms of notes, this fragrance has got very minimal notes, but it does wonders with those notes. It's got grapefruit, it's got ginger, it's got ambroxan, and it's got woody notes, right? Now, within these 4 notes, it kind of creates a beast of a fragrance for you. 4-5 sprays and you can carry yourself really good for a long time. I'm saying like a really good beast mode fragrance. That ginger blend with grapefruit really makes up for something. I've worn this twice today, and I've to go out for a couple of times, and the moment you drive or you walk, you know that you can smell this fragrance around you, and you know that people notice you because you are putting in about 6 to 8 sprays easily, and that definitely is a very good vibe. This is an amazing freshie. It's an excellent summer fragrance. It can be a signature scent. It can be something that you can carry all throughout the year, and is an amazing, beautiful fragrance. A fresh grapefruit, citrusy, that ginger blend with that ambroxan really makes up for a unique blend. No wonder this is such a popular fragrance. So after 1.5 hours time, you would realize that Dopamine and Mehdi Hasan's Indian perfumery are both very close to the OG. And the loudness is still there, okay, and you can feel that the grapefruit vibe is like really pronounced and pretty loud at this point of time. Muzna's volume is a little lower. Now, this is on skin and on strips, okay. Now, the same story continues even at 2 hours and at 3 hours time. The only difference being Muzna is becoming more mellower as the hour goes, on the 2nd hour and on the 3rd hour. So is Mehdi Hasan's becomes a little more mellow towards the 3rd hour. But for the first 2 hours, it's loud. The loudest of all of them is definitely Dopamine, and no doubts about it. It's a loud fragrance up until good 3-4 hours time. So, but for the first 3 hours, Dopamine is doing really well. Second, I would say, is Mehdi Hasan's, and Muzna is a little lower. But the scent profile of all of them are the same, and like I said, the biggest difference has been only the performance and the projection in this case. At 5 p.m. I started the test at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So at 5 p.m., which is almost after 5 hours time, I can feel that the OG has become a lot more mellow and is a little skin close. Okay, Muzna is extremely skin close. Mehdi Hasan is also slightly skin close, I would say, but then you can still get the whiffs of grapefruit in that. But Dopamine is still something that you can clearly smell. You can still smell the grapefruit part of it. After the fifth hour, when it's going towards the sixth hour, all of the others have kind of become powdery and kind of settled down, but Dopamine is still getting to that base note of it, which is that minty vibe that Centralic perfumes have. It's on that particular note, and it's a quite a pronounced note that you can sniff. After the fifth hour, when Dopamine went into its base minty note, I decided to do the second test, right? Now for the second test, we had a decant that is sponsored by Fragzone, and that is Turati Blue, Afnan Turati Blue. Now this is also considered a very good alternate for Tiger. Now it actually is, and it took the fight to the next level. Now on the second part of the test, I had the OG, I had Dopamine, I had Mehdi Hasan's Indian Perfumery Alt, and then I had Turati Blue. Now the big difference, or the difference that I can immediately make out, is in the opening. Now when you put it on, this has a little bit of a sour opening, which is the Turati Blue has got slightly sour opening. Now that is the only difference that you can actually see between any of these openings of the first four fragrances, be it Muzna, be it Centralic, be it Mehdi, and this one has the only slight different opening. Now that's only the opening part. In about 5-10 minutes time, it kind of settles down and then the fight starts. Now it's like Dopamine and Turati Blue, they're like against each other, and they're having this loud projection, and they kind of, in that war, they kind of eat up Mehdi Hasan's Indian Perfumery, which is not able to project as well as how Dopamine or Turati Blue does. Now the story continues for the first 3 hours time, where Turati Blue and Dopamine are at each other, and you literally can't figure out who is louder than the other. Okay, both are really good, and both have got that spiced grapefruit ambroxan blend with ginger really playing at you, and it's really good. It's very smooth, very well refined, very rounded between the two. You really can't figure out which is which. That good both of them are on strip and on skin as well. Where it really starts to change is after the third hour mark, when this one Turati Blue starts becoming a little more mellower and starts to go down on its performance, whereas that for the next 1 hour, Dopamine is still there, with projecting and doing good. In the fifth hour, of course, Centralic starts to melt down and become skin close. By the fifth hour, this is a very skin close fragrance. So is Mehdi Hasan's. Dopamine is still has got that minty vibe that you can get. That is what happens when you bring Turati Blue. But trust me, this is an amazing fragrance. What a competition, a tough fight for Dopamine. For the ratings. Now, for the ratings, what I've done is, I'm glad that I actually did this. Otherwise, this test would have been really tough to crack. So, 4 ratings. Okay, the first one is for scent profile. And for scent profile, it's a 9 out of 10 for all 4 of them, be it Muzna, be it Dopamine, Mehdi Hasan and Turati Blue. I've gone for 9. The reason being is all of them have got excellent scent profile. Although Turati Blue has got a little bit of sour opening, that's just for the first couple of minutes, and immediately after that it has got the same vibe as that of the OG. So from a scent profile, I would say all of them are 90-95, close to 90-95% close to the OG. Okay, so from that point of view, all of them get a 9. Now the second part is performance. Now this is where things have got a little tweaked or changed. Okay, now what happens here is Muzna has got a little lower performance compared to the other 3, but the top performer on this category in terms of projection, in terms of lasting, is Centralic, and because of which Centralic Dopamine gets a 9.5. Centralic Dopamine here, that gets a completely 9.5. Now the next part is in terms of value for money. Now value for money becomes very interesting here for 2 fragrances, right? Now Mehdi Hasan's and Muzna Bai's fragrance, I would say probably are much lower in terms of pricing. I think you should get a 50 ml close to about 800 rupees odd. But Dopamine by Centralic is about 1700 rupees for 50 ml. And Turati Blue, Afnan Turati Blue, 90 ml is about 3,600 rupees after discount with the MRP of 5,500. Now when you compare value for money, even if I go with 3,500 rupees for Turati Blue for 90 ml and 100 ml for Dopamine at 3,500, the cost still comes to 38 rupees per ml for Turati Blue and 34 rupees for actually Dopamine, making it Dopamine more value for money. Now the last element on that list is presentation. Now hands down, Middle East fragrances have got excellent presentations, and there the entire 9 points goes to basically Turati Blue for that beautiful blue bottle that it comes in. Second goes for Dopamine, because I think Dopamine still has got a much better bottle with nice artwork and all of that coming in. And Muzna and of course Indian Perfumery come in more simpler glass bottle with stickers, and 100 ml of Muzna Fragrances also comes with a nice presentation as well. But I think if you look at the presentation point of view, Turati Blues definitely ranks number 1. So if you look at the total, at number 4 at 32.5 points out of 40 is Mehdi Hasan's Indian Perfumery, which is right here. Okay, the Tygar X. Okay, good start on the first test. I think with us, I think it's done really well. So really good job here. In fact, I have two. I have the Tygar X and I also have the other Tiger, the full bottle that Mehdi Hasan has got. Between the two, I kind of like this one, and this is more closer to the OG. At number 3 is Muzna Bai's Tygar at 33 out of 40. Okay, except for that projection. If the projection is a little more louder, I think this could be a good fight for the Tiger competition as well. At number 3 is Turati Blue with 35 points. Okay, very well done, very good Middle Eastern house for Tiger, and excellent presentation. The winner for Tiger's test today at 36 is Dopamine from the house of Centedelic. Okay, now Dopamine is also very popular in India for this particular fragrance, and now we know why. It's that beast mode fragrance projection that it gives, and it's so close to the OG, and that smoothness and that depth in the fragrance is what makes Saurabh Khatri's alt or work really outstanding, and this is one of the top sellers for a very good reason. Now you can definitely let me know what are your thoughts about the new format and the scoring pattern, and if this is a good way to continue forward. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share it with everybody that you know. And my name is Rodney, and see you on the next one.